Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the NBA coverage. Before we get started, remember we're doing subscriber giveaway. Two lucky subscribers a month will win $50 the 1st and the 15th of every month. To enter, all you have to do is subscribe and comment on any video, and you will be entered in for life. You only have to do it one time. We appreciate all the subscribers. So let's get straight into it. Today, we're going over a series that just ended literally 2 minutes ago. The Minnesota Timberwolves upset and overtake the LA Lakers, who were a decent odds to winning the championship. Obviously, I'm not too big into odds, especially mid-season after trade deadlines, because that stuff's way too early to predict. But they, I believe, had the six-ish best odds, and they were a favorite to win this series. But Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, DiVincenzo, Rudy Gobert, except Mike Conley, the Jaden McDaniels, the list goes on and on. But they get the dub, and I think what really it came down to is one thing I do want to mention is I don't understand what happened with Jackson Hayes. You get rid of Anthony Davis, right? And I know earlier in the season I talked about, and I might have also mentioned this on other shows, that I didn't think that initially the Lakers got that much better because Anthony Davis did mean so much defensively, and he was when he plays and he's healthy, he's a top 5 big man, arguably top 2, top 3 big man in the league. And not only that, he's rim protector. He was close to leading the league in blocks. I don't believe he won the block the block title or whatever, but he's a rim protector. Not only is he a rim protector, he's a stretch big. You can run him at the 4, you can run him at the 5. He can shoot the 3. He's got a good mid-range. He can obviously rebound, Q in the post, all that stuff. You get rid of that. And Jackson Hayes stepped up from the trade deadline to the end of the season. Jackson Hayes was rated had the highest defensive rating among centers since the trade deadline, right? From the trade deadline to the end of the season. And yeah, he didn't get minutes. I don't know if he got hurt. I don't know if they weren't liking what they were seeing matchup-wise. I don't know what it is, but you have a 6'10", 6'11" footer on your team, and you have Rudy Gobert, who is a 7'1", and you go with small ball lineup. I don't understand where that is. I do understand Alex Yen, who they picked up from the G League. He's 7'1", but I do understand he wasn't ready. I do understand that. Maybe you keep him on the team for developmental purposes for next season. But I'm confused as to what happened with Jackson Hayes. What killed the Lakers was Rudy Gobert couldn't be stopped on the boards. Julius Randle couldn't be stopped on the boards. And rebounding was the problem because you have basically LeBron James as your biggest guy, who you have basically running the 3, sometimes the 2, depending on the lineup. And you have him on the perimeter, and you have Rui Hachimura, who I'm a huge fan of Rui Hachimura. He's a great rebounder. He's a big, basically an oversized small forward. You can put him at the 4. He was playing the 5. When it comes to matching up against 7-footers, I don't see how that works out. You can't have your biggest guy not be in the paint. You have him on the perimeter, 6'9". So it was weird. It's just weird to see. That's what it really came down to. Just being out-rebounded, second chance points, and just the tenacity of the Timberwolves. Shout out to the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, 0 for 10 from the 3. Like I said, I don't think that their shooting from the 3-point line was going to be the level it was like game 1 or I believe 2, where they shot like 47, almost 50% from 3. I knew that was going to be an outlier. But the Timberwolves are the number 1 rated defense in the league. So that, and again, defense wins championships. And I think that's what it's really going to come down to is moving forward, Timberwolves have to lean into their defense. I do believe this is the worst matchup Lakers could have faced first round. I think if it had been any other team, Lakers would probably be advancing. But it was the fact that them not having a solid foundational big man to game off of really was their downfall. So it's going to be interesting to see this offseason. They're going to really have to buy in for a center in either free agency, or I don't know if they're looking at maybe Jackson Hayes getting developmental work over the offseason and becoming their guy at center like I thought they were doing during the season. I'm not sure, but Lakers have to figure that out. Timberwolves move on. I guess we'll go over. So really, the X factor for this series is Julius Randle. I believe game 3 or game 2 of the series, Anthony Edwards, or it might have been game 1. One of the games during the series, Anthony Edwards had 40-something points. Rudy Gobert had 27 and 22 today, which was absolutely phenomenal. And Anthony Edwards kind of was in a shooting slump. The most consistent player on the team was Julius Randle. He's scored over 20 points every game this series. And I believe he's really the guy, the glue that kind of kept the Minnesota together. He was fairly consistent, and it really just came down to defense. You got Julius Randle, who was a dog, good defender in the post. Obviously, Rudy Gobert is a good rim protector. Anthony Edwards is a good perimeter defender. You have Jaden McDaniels, who's a good perimeter defender, probably their best perimeter defender, who was out, who ended up leaving the game due to foul trouble or fouled out. But Timberwolves are playing with house money. I think they're going to be the underdogs in every series moving forward. They were the lower seed. So they're playing with house money, and one of the scariest teams to play against is a team that feels like they have nothing to lose. But obviously with Anthony Edwards, he has everything to prove. So I'm curious to see how far they go and how the round 2 is getting ready to shape up, how round 2 goes for these matchups. But this has been all for this episode of the NBA coverage. We'll catch you guys next time.
I'm gonna chase my